Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and as many of you know, I've been a comic book collector since the late 1970s, as well as a fanboy, Marvel fanboy, like a little bit of DC. And also, you know that I am a mental alchemist and a mental alchemist coach. I am many different things that I have chosen, and some things that were conditioned into me. But in watching the last Endgame movie, the Avengers Endgame movie, there was a statement that was made that had my kids looking at me, knowing that it is a statement of mental alchemy that I want to share with you guys and the meaning behind it. But it was also something that they know I've repeated to them many times. So let me share that statement with you, and then we'll get into it. So the statement was the fact of Thor talking to his mother Frigga, and what she said to him was that people fail at becoming who they are supposed to be. The true mark of a person or a hero is succeeding at who you are. Is succeeding at who you are. So what's up everybody, how you doing? This is your coach Renz, and I want to thank everybody for being here. If you're finding me for the first time, we talk about the 360 degrees of life on this channel because this is about mental alchemy. It's about you elevating your consciousness and elevating your vibration, your life into a higher state. That is not something that is just some esoterical thinking that we go through, but is actually something that is tangible. We must have substantial reality in life to be able to measure whether or not we are truly a mental alchemist and exceeding and succeeding in life. So thank you. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me. Hit the bell icon if you want to know when I drop videos or when we do live events. So the movie Endgame. I hope that it doesn't spoil too much of it for you guys. I want to welcome you out here into some nature. I love having nature. I love the spring, summertime. Can't stand the winter. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, almost 3 weeks, I think. So I'm not worried about spoilers right now, because you're just not that interested if you haven't seen it yet. But here's the thing. In one of the scenes of the movie, you have Thor going back in time to the time frame of Thor 2, the Dark Elf. And during that time frame, he speaks with his mother. We know that in that movie, particularly, his mother dies. He's at a time where it's mere moments before his mother dies. And although he wants to tell her, she forbids him from being able to tell her the future. And they have a conversation about what he has become, what he has failed to be able to do, failed to accomplish. And we know through the entire trilogy of the Thor movie and the Avengers movie that the character progression of Thor is him supposedly coming into kingship, becoming the new leader of Asgard, becoming who his dad, Odin, wanted him to be, desired for him to be. The whole issue between Thor and Loki was the fact that Thor was trying to live up to the crown, whereas Loki desired the crown. Thor's trying to live up to a crown he did not desire, where Loki is desiring a crown, wanting a crown that he could not live up to. So we're watching Thor's progression, and at this moment he lost his father, he lost his mother, he lost, assumingly, his sister, and he's lost his brother multiple times, but this time it seems to have taken effect. He's lost his brother. So he's lost everyone. He's also lost Ragnarok, so he lost half of the Asgardian people, so he lost half his people. Then Thanos comes on board his ship and kills the other half, another half of the half of his people. So I think that's like a quarter of the people left. So he's got a quarter of the people left. And then the snap happens when Thor went for the chest instead of going for the head. So he loses another half of the one-fourth of the quarter that is left. I don't know what that math equals out to right on top of my head. But he's lost most of his people. He failed to become what he was supposed to be. And his mother at that moment tells him that people fail at who they're supposed to be. But the true mark of a person, a hero, is succeeding at who you are. Who is Thor? Thor is a warrior. He is not a king to sit on a throne and govern a people, which is why at the end of the movie he turned that over to Valkyrie. He is a warrior. He's a friend. He is a adventurer. He's Thor. Are you being your Thor? You see, we are born into a condition. You are born into a country not of your choosing. You're just born there. You're born into a family, not of your choosing. You're just born into that family. You're born into a culture, not of your choosing. You're just born into that culture. In this third dimensional, the law of correspondence, in this physical reality, you're born into a race. It was not your choice. You didn't decide that. You are born male, female. It is not your choice. It was something that you were just born into. And what we have done is put conditions around all of that. We've put a situation that says that if you're born into America and you are a black man, black woman, white woman, that this, and you're born up north, you're born down south, you're born out west, you're born in up in the northwest. If you're born in any of these places, the middle America, then this is your culture of how you're supposed to be. These are the things that you should gravitate towards and things you should repel from. We have all these conditions. You were born into a certain religion. You were born into a certain way of eating. You was born into all these different things. And then after you were born into them, you were conditioned even further into being a certain way based on your family's social economic development at the time of your birth. You may have been born into poverty. You may have been born into middle class, or you may have been born into wealth, right? You could have been born into all those different scenarios. And based on that, there are different structure standards that are surrounding you. And they create a condition in your mind that you try to live up to. You guys heard me say many times before, quoting Kierkegaard, the moment you label me, you negate me. The moment you label me, you negate who I am, and now I must live up to whatever the label is. So if I am a Southern black man born in Atlanta, Georgia, the metro of Atlanta, Georgia, there's a certain label that I must live up to in order to represent what the societal thought process is of that type of person. Maybe you talk too fast, maybe you talk too slow. You got a little country grammar in your speech. Whatever it is, you have to now live up to that. And you try to. And you fail miserably. You constantly and consistently fail at it. They say this is what a husband is supposed to be. They say this is what a wife is supposed to be. But you constantly fail at becoming one or the other because you're trying to live up to what someone else had decided that looks like. Told you guys before, in a relationship situation, a young lady was told that a wife does this and a wife does that. A wife doesn't do this and a wife doesn't do that. The things that she was told she does not do as a wife were the things that got her the husband. And then eventually she lost the husband. So it is being told what you are supposed to do, trying to live up to what someone has decided is who you're supposed to be. True mental alchemy is living up to who you are. Who you are. And that is the journey. The journey, measurable in tangible means, is your own personal self-discovery. Discovering exactly who you are is the first step. Becoming aware of who you are. Now, because we have grown up in certain conditions, in certain areas, in certain places, some of that is very difficult because we are influenced by all these things. So let's not take those things away. You are influenced by being born in America, or being born in England, or being born in South Africa, or being born in South America. You're being born in the Caribbean. There are certain things that it has become who you are. You have 25% of your genetics come from your parents and the Akashic record that goes on before them. So there are certain things you just are that person. And you may like them. And the first step of becoming more self-aware is to, and I want you guys to do this, your homework assignment, is to take a wall, take some Post-it notes, put those Post-it notes on the wall. Describe yourself individually on each Post-it note, a character trait about you, a physical trait about you, anything that comes to mind that is defining who you are. Write those things down, put them individually on Post-it notes. And then after you put them individually on Post-it notes, look at them, step back, look at them, and say, okay, I don't like that. I like that. I don't like that. I like that. I don't like that. I like that. Start peeling away what you don't like and keeping what you do like. And then once you see what you do like, and you've taken and you put to the side of what you don't like, because you are looking at the core of who you are right now. That's who you are right now. But now we're going to strip away those things that we don't like. Because we're becoming self-aware to say, I know who I am, but I now want to live up to who I desire to be. That is me becoming who I am, who I truly am. And then so what we do in this is after we strip those things away, and I know I said that a little crazy, but after we strip those things away, we're going to then say, okay, who do I would desire to be? Not who everyone tells me I should be. Not how everyone says what life is supposed to be for me and how I'm supposed to act. Who do I desire to be? Let me focus on being who I am, that I desire to be. Because I recognize things about me that I don't like, I don't particularly care for. I'm poor at finances. I'm poor at taking care of my health. But I don't like those things about me. And those things are true things about me, but they're not things I want to keep. So let me strip those things away. And as we strip those things away, and we say, okay, in order for me to be the opposite of that, because usually if there's something you're taking away, then there's an opposite side of the vibration that you want to be. So then we start looking at those things and say, okay, well, I'm unhealthy, but I want to become healthy. I'm unloving, but I want to become loving. I am a poor financial manager, but my desire is to become a great financial manager. So then let's start adding those things over to the left and saying, like, these are the things you desire to be. And you're going to keep these that you like. You're going to get rid of those that you don't like. And over here on the polar opposite, you got all the things that you want to be, that you desire to be, that you're going to make happen. And then up under each one of those, begin writing this. And this is a very important thing. What is the vibration, the frequency of that person? What is the energy of that person? Because once I understand the energy of that person, then how do I increase my vibration so that I work in the same frequency of that person? It's not about you meditating. It's not about you praying. Those are good things for you to do in concert with it. But when you see the energy of a type person who is fit, does the energy of a person who is fit dormant? Is it dormant? No, it's not. The energy of a person who is fit is very active and is moving. It has a higher vibration. Well, that higher vibration is there because they're functioning on a frequency of eating properly and exercise. So what you have to do is match that frequency. Match that frequency, match that vibration, match that energy. When you match the energy, the vibration and the energy, then you start to become a fit person. You see people who are financially wealthy. And you say that I want to match the energy of a financially wealthy person. Well, a financially wealthy person doesn't spend more than they earn. A financial wealthy person invests in things that bring them a return on their investment. Not a 401k, not a savings thing, but a true return on their investment. So you start to say, okay, I need to match that energy in myself. So let me get onto a budget. Let me get into Coach Ren's Financially on Fire program, Financial Alchemy. Let me do that. Let me get the Financial Alchemy DIY program so that I can get my credit right. Because a person who's financially fit has great credit. So let me get my credit right. So let me match that energy. And I match that energy by doing Financial Alchemy DIY. I match that energy by doing that. And then I physically actually do the work. I don't just get the program, but I do the work. You know, I have clients who have raised their credit score by 80, 100 points, 200 points. I have clients who have purchased homes and flipped them. I have clients who have increased their financial abilities. So they have matched the energy. Now we use meditation. We do use vision boarding, and we do all those kinds of things as well. But the biggest thing that we do is we match the energy. We match the energy. So match that energy so that your vibration increases. You see, these are not the intangible things that most people will sit around and just think about. I'm gonna, it's coming. It's always coming. But match the energy. Increase your vibration. And you'll start operating on the same frequency. And when you do that, it all changes. It all changes. And that's how we go and become what Frigga was teaching Thor. We fail at becoming who we are supposed to be. True mark of a person, true mark of a hero, and be a hero to yourself, is succeeding at being the person that you are. But first, let's determine who we are and match that energy, match the vibration, match the frequency. So y'all have a great day. And remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.